I haven't posted a video in a while, for many reasons. This is gonna be another NIU video, so if you're not interested in that, don't watch. It's also gonna be another dramatic video. It's not gonna be funny. It's just shit I'm dealing with. I go back to NIU in 4 days. Every single day of my break, I've been having panic attacks or just dealing with basic constant anxiety. My housing situation is the same. As far as I know, I'm going to be moving back into the same dorm, which is really frustrating, because I have been trying to move out of that dorm and into the grad student dorms, pretty much since I moved in. I'm 31, as you know. I'm almost 32, and I live with a bunch of 18-year-olds, which is highly inappropriate, as is. And it's not only inappropriate for me, it's inappropriate for students, because we're just at very different places in our life, and we're going to school for very different reasons. There's a group of people on my floor who party pretty much every night. They usually start on Thursday and go through Monday morning. They'll party until 2 and 3 in the morning sometimes. If I make noise complaints, either nobody comes to investigate or they'll come and knock on their door. But then as soon as those people leave, the party begins again. My dorm room is also right across from a utility closet, and every night and every morning people smoke weed in there, which I don't care if you smoke weed. Don't do it in a locked supply closet with no ventilation, because then my room reeks of weed. This is a problem I only assume is going to be getting worse with the new laws legalizing marijuana, which is great and I'm a huge fan of, but also not in dorms. So there's that. And I have this horrible feeling that I'm going to move in 4 days, and maybe a week will go by or a couple days, and then I'll get the notice that I have to move. And so I have to then repack up all my shit and move. The problem is that everyone I know is out of town, so I'm alone. And moving is fucking hard enough as it is. So that's the living situation. You guys already know about how, like, fucking horrible the bathrooms are, and there's, like, one girl who's running an illegal nail salon out of her room, so, like, the entire floor reeks of acetone all the time. And in which case, and if you're seeing this, girl, you're using too much acetone, you're gonna dry out everyone's fucking hands. Like, you better be giving them, like, industrial-sized bottles of Jergens for their nails, because, like, you're fucking them up. That's just my opinion. But, like, don't run illegal salons ever. So that's the living situation. There's another ongoing situation that I haven't talked about in video yet. I'm not going to go into too many details because, again, it is ongoing. But I had a very volatile disagreement with a professor at the end of the semester. This professor continuously interrupted me during one of my presentations to call me a liar. She then proceeded to insist that I used a machine to do some of my work instead of doing it by hand, which is bonkers. Like, she thinks I went out. I'm a 31-year-old woman living in a dorm. She thinks I had $500 spare to buy an industrial paper cutting machine to cut out paper, and then I still turned in the assignment. Like, that is her story, which is clearly fucking insane. She also is retroactively saying that I missed a lot of days of school, which is not true. So I had to speak with at least five different staff members about the situation. They said they couldn't proceed until I had a moderated discussion with her, which I did. It did not go well. Good job on the moderator, though. She was very professional. She made it very clear that she wasn't there to pick sides. She wasn't there to render any kind of judgment. She just wanted to give us a safe space to discuss options. My teacher has made it clear that even if I do turn in the final assignment, which obviously I'm going to do because I'm in school to get an education and to do the work. Oh, this teacher also lost some of my work. And then claimed she never lost any of my work, and then claimed I never took a test, and then it's like, it's nuts. But yeah, so I've been working on an assignment for a woman who's called me a liar for over a month now. I'm going to go back to school and continue working on it. At the very latest, it will be resolved by March 5th. I'm hoping to have it resolved by the end of this month, because I can't, like, emotionally, I can't keep doing this. I have cried myself to sleep most nights thinking about it. My mom has held me while I sobbed in her arms about shit. I just yelled at my mom because I was still upset about this. And I have OCD, which means I ruminate, and if you don't know what that means, it means you get stuck on a train of thought and it goes in loops over and over and over again. And that is what OCD is. And God bless my mom. I love her so much. But she's also very much of the opinion of, well, just stop thinking like that. And what if I could? So there's that. So that's two major issues. The third major issue is that, like, I signed up for a printmaking class for next semester. And then I spoke to a friend of mine who was in the class at the time, and she was like, don't take it. The teacher isn't great. It's very, very technical. And it's just, like, not that enjoyable of a class to be in. And after the situation with the other professor, the last thing I wanted was, like, a really difficult class. I mean, okay, that came out wrong. I love challenges. Pottery is a huge challenge for me. That's my major. I had never done sculptural work before last semester, so it's not that I'm not willing to work hard, but I'm not willing to do stuff that makes me miserable. Is that fair? Like, hard work, good. Miserable, shit. So I found out about that at the end of the semester, so I'm like, okay, I'll drop that class. And I signed up for a watercolor class instead. I had forgotten that I already took a watercolor class when I got my associate's degree, and luckily those credits transferred, which is great. So I got an email saying, hey, you signed up for class you already have credit in, because it's college and they want you to, like, diversify and actually, like, get a solid education instead of taking one class over and over again. They sent me a notice saying, like, you signed up for something you already have credits in, make the adjustment. And so I went online to try to change it, and I'm trying to only take classes that are directly correspond with my major. I don't want to mess around. I don't want to take any classes that are only one credit. I don't want to take any classes that are not at all related to my major or anything like that. And I need a total of 4 classes in order to keep my scholarships. Now, because of this one professor I have issues with, my scholarships are already in jeopardy. So that's a lot of stress. So I tried to sign up for a sculpture class because I know that's something I need in order to get my major. Sorry, my OCD has been really bad. So if you see me, like, scratching or picking, or if you see, like, little hot spots on me, that's why. So sorry. But yeah, so I tried to sign up for a sculpture class. I couldn't get in. I saw there was a sculpture workshop that was the same amount of credits. I tried to get in, couldn't get in. Basically all classes are closed at this point. So I wrote to my academic advisor about a week or 2 ago, and explained the situation to her and said, like, is there any way we can resolve this remotely? She didn't get back into the office until today. Same with the housing woman. She didn't get back until today. So they had emails from me waiting from them. I sent another email to both her and the housing woman today, being like, hey, just checking in. Wanted to make sure, first of all, that you saw my emails. Because, I can guarantee I'm not the only student emailing people during the break. Didn't get a response back all day. Just sent another round of emails this evening. It's about 8 o'clock right now. So sent another round of emails. And at this point I was having a really, really massive panic attack. Okay, backing up. For the housing woman, I have spoken to her before. My parents have spoken to her before. They went out and did that on their own. Whatever. And my academic advisor has spoken to her. Now, when I told my academic advisor about my living situation, she was horrified. She said that is dramatically inappropriate. You should have never been put there, especially at your age. It's really, really wrong. And I'm like, cool, I have somebody in my corner. And she's like, oh, for sure, because it's, kind of an emergency. We can have you moved in a few days. So I was like, that was over 2 months ago, probably closer to 3 months ago. I haven't moved. I spoke to the housing woman once, after my academic advisor had spoken to her. And she's like, yeah, we put you on the waiting list. And I'm like, oh, cool. However, she said I can move within a few days. Is that still an option? Is that not an option? And I haven't heard back from her since. Again, that was like 3 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago. Haven't heard back from my academic advisor about changing the class. I know there's like a week of add drop days at the beginning of the semester, so hopefully I could get into a class. Because otherwise I lose my scholarships. If I lose my scholarships, I can't pay for school. If I can't pay for school, I can't graduate. And I have one teacher, one of my ceramics teacher. He's a man named Jim Kearns. He's the best teacher I've ever had in my life. He's very encouraging. He is very kind. He really pushes our limits, and he's made me a better artist. And he was really encouraging me that I need to continue on and get my master's degree, because it would benefit me in the long run, and that is really the only way to have job security as a ceramic artist. And I thought he was crazy. I thought he was nuts, because I'm like, who has money to pay for a master's degree? But I was thinking about it, and I'm like, he's right. And so, over break, I decided I want to go on and get my master's degree. But if I lose my scholarships, and then I feel like I'm just letting down a teacher who really means a lot to me. So I guess I'll see you in 4 days at NIU.